It's God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. He isn't saying it's his good pleasure to give you a little small apartment in this little complex in part of the kingdom or something. He says he gives you the kingdom. He gives you the whole kingdom. He's talking about the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven really is within us. I mean, life itself flowing through us. Life itself is God within us, and that life is the joy of creation. When Jesus was saying the words, "Be still and know that I am God," in order for us to connect to spirit, we have to practice silence. We have to practice taking time to just be. And whether it's through meditation, whether it's through blocking off some period of time where we don't allow ourselves to have the TV on or radio on or constant input of everything, we have to have some period of silence and just be there. The chatter may try to intrude, but eventually we'll see the chatter as it's not us. When you see that word "I am" in the Bible, it is the word Yahweh from the Hebrew. The word Yahweh means I am. It's the name of God. God's presence just says, I am that I am. So existence itself is God. The presence of life flowing through the universe from the beginning of creation and continuing on till this present moment is God itself, unfolding like a big plant, if you could say. It's creation. So when Jesus says, "Be still and know," he's saying, be still and know the I am. If we can just be still and know the presence of God. And I'm saying the word God, but really be still and know existence. Be still and be aware of life itself. The isness of life, the very presence. When Yeshua of Nazareth, when Jesus was saying, be still and know that I am, he was saying, be still and know God within. But people have taken it and separated out him from the rest of us and not realizing that he was saying we're all one, we're all part of that. So we mustn't discount or put ourselves down where we can't experience that. And he also said the kingdom of heaven is within us. Because a lot of religions, I think, that were built up out of patriarchal society that were trying to organize people. They'd say, "Oh, we have to control all these people, especially these people who are like in the old days who were suddenly discovering freedom through the things that Yeshua was saying to them." They felt threatened. These people are suddenly free and feeling like they can be who they want to be and be free. Well, let's organize these folks. Okay, if we're going to have religion or we're going to have these people being all spiritual, well, let's see, you have to make sure they're doing it the right way. And then they, put all these rules and regulations and put them all in a box again. So then it became just like, in a way, another form of control, of forcing people to, well, then, okay, if you're going to follow this religion, you have to do this, do that, do this, do that. And follow these rules. And then it became another kind of box that they were in, rules and regulations, when it was really meant to be the spirit of life, the spirit of God that flows naturally through things, just like a plant. You know, I've seen those beautiful like topiaries and things where they take the plants and they bend them and they make them do things and they make them look like an elephant, or they make them look like a duck or something or other. But they're not the natural form of the plant. And I mean, they're cool and everything, but the natural plant might look a different way. It doesn't mean it needs little hair trim, doesn't need a little hair trim now and then. But or they, you know, little curlers once in a while. You got to get your curlers in. I'm putting my curler in today. But the thing is that our natural flow of life wants to come out. We can have that freedom to be who we are. We can allow ourselves to flow within us throughout every part of our body, every part of our being. We can allow that spirit to flow through us in peace and love and joy. And we can find that joy within. In thy presence is fullness of joy, and at thy right hand are pleasures forevermore. God is really life, and that life is within, and the kingdom of heaven is within. Remember that. And also remember that parable that Yeshua spoke. The man needed laborers in his field, and he, in the morning, he asked, I need some help, and whoever will help me, I will give them like whatever amount of money that they would get by the end of the day. Now, in the midday came, and he still needed laborers, so he asked, he sent out the word, anybody want to help? I'll give them the same amount as the guys who got in the beginning of the day. We get the same amount. And then about an hour before the end of the day, he still needed laborers. And he said, please come and help, and I'll give you the same amount as the guys got who started out the first part of the day. And so a lot of the people who had been working all day said, hey, that's not fair. Why should they get as much as we get? We've been working all day, and they just snuck in at the last hour and they're going to get the same amount. Wow. Well, what was the reward that they were going to get? It was the kingdom of heaven. It was the same amount, because the kingdom of heaven, our joy within, is the same amount, whether we find it when we're 6 years old, 20 years old, 40 years old, 100 years old, whether we find it right before our deathbed. If we discover that joy, the joy of the Lord, which is our strength, if we find that joy, when we find that joy, whenever we find that joy, it's the same amount. It's eternal. It's all embracing. It's all expansive and fills us up to overflow. It's the kingdom of heaven, and it's your heavenly Father's joy to give us that kingdom, the whole ball of wax. We don't just get a little bit or a corner of heaven, we get the whole thing. So receive that joy of the Lord, and it's basically free, and it's life itself. Free for anyone who will come and take the waters of everlasting life. That's all it is. Take the water. Take the fountain of life that springs up within us. So it's free today for you. So enjoy. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon.